Let's make some fresh almond milk. No more wasting those boxes and contributing to landfills. Let's just go ahead and make some fresh almond milk. You are soaking nuts and seeds anyways while you're on the raw diet, so throwing an additional cup of almonds in to soak overnight is certainly easy, and making the milk is faster than you can possibly imagine. So let's get started. Let's see, I have 7 cups of water here in the Vitamix. I have 1 cup of almonds that were soaked overnight and then drained and rinsed. Let's put those in there. Now I am out of fresh vanilla beans, but if you have some, they're even better. But this is some delicious organic vanilla. So I'm gonna put 1 teaspoon of that in there. And then I'm gonna put some dates. Now you'll wanna check that your dates don't have the seeds, so give them a little squeeze before you pop them in. I have 8 dates here. You can put 6 to 8 dates in, and that'll get it a little bit of sweetness. Now, if you don't want any sweetness at all, or if you're sugar sensitive, of course you could just omit the dates and your milk just won't be as sweet, no worries. Now, we won't need the strainer. We're actually gonna strain the milk through a nut milk bag. Now, I'll give you a little secret here. The nut milk bags that you can buy online, they have a hemp version and then they have a synthetic version, usually made of nylon. They work great. However, they're like 10 bucks a piece, and these little eco bags, which are actually designed to be produce bags that you don't throw away, so recyclable produce bags, they sell them on Amazon. I think they're like 3 or 4 bags, 3 bags for $9, I think, $9.95 maybe. Anyways, these eco bags are made of 100% organic cotton, and they work awesome for making almond milk. So go ahead and give them a try. The nut milk bags, of course, work great, but I think for the money, these work great, and they tend to last longer. And I love that you can also just throw them in the laundry and then give them a good rinse in really hot water just to make sure there's no soap or anything in there, and you know that they're nice and clean, not going to get anything funky in there. Okay, so we'll need our nut milk bag. We need some really clean hands because we're about to milk this bag as if it were old Bessie the cow. And we have everything in here to make the almond milk. It's that simple. A little bit messy, but other than that, it's very, very easy. So you want to start your Vitamix down on 1, obviously, so speed is on variable, set on 1, turn it on, crank it up to 10, then crank it up to 5. So we let that blend for about a minute, and now we're just gonna pour the milk right through the nut milk bag. Now, if you can make this milk in the morning when you're gonna drink it on your oat groats or in a maca faca or coffee replacement drink, that is really great because it comes out of the blender nice and warm. So just a little side note, if you have time to make it in the morning, it's great. If not, just make it ahead of time and have it ready. No worries either way. I went a little crazy in here. So mine has a nice foamy latte going on here. Now, here we go. We are going to pour this gently into the bag. This is really, really full, so I'm gonna try to be careful. And I'll tell you, when I make mine, I normally just hang the rope of the drawstring bag on a cabinet door, and I have this big Pyrex measuring cup beneath it, and it just drips in there while I do everything else that I need to do in the morning. Now, I use my Vitamix so much that I actually have to do I try to have milk ready, or else just get up early enough that I can have fresh milk and my smoothie in the morning, because I do both a green drink and I have a maca faca, so I can jumpstart my day. So I need my Vitamix twice in the morning before I even go. You may find you need the same thing. Okay, so as you can see, this fluid is coming right on out of here, and there's all that foamy latte-like foam at the top, and we're just gonna let this drip on through And as you can see, I'm kind of pushing the bottom corner. It's shaped like a rectangle. I'm bringing that bottom corner up. And the reason I do that is the milk's not coming out the bottom. It's actually coming out the pores of this whole bag all the way around. So we just want to make sure that we don't squeeze it and force all the pulp down to the bottom. Then we would be going through nut milk bags like crazy. You would just poke a hole in them. Rather, we're just kind of giving it a squeeze to let the juice come all out every side of the bag. And when we hold it up and have just one point at the bottom, it comes out really easily. I'm kind of twisting this around as I go. This is no science. You can do it however works for you. But as you can see, lots of fluid is coming out the top. So you do want to make sure the drawstring is closed and that you've twisted the bag at the top at least a little bit. And now we have nice, fresh, warm, yummy almond milk. And you can add this to your maca faca. You can eat it on granola or on your oat groats. You can drink it as is. If you have children that you want to try and get a little extra greens and a little extra iron in their diet, it's great to make some chocolate milk just using this, sweeten it with a little bit more dates, add some spinach, which would make it green, but you can't see that green color when you add a little raw cacao. The beverage just comes out brown, the kids won't know any better, and voila, you've added more greens and some iron into their diet before they even leave the house. I love doing that. Okay. So now you can see we've got most of it out of there. Now comes the part where you go ahead and squeeze it. Again, we don't want to squeeze the nut pulp to one corner of the bag. That's going to cause it to burst. Instead, we're just letting it come out all over. That's why we wanted to make sure we had nice clean hands going into this. There we go. Very nice. Okay, now you may be wondering what happens to all this yummy fibrous material that we have left over, all this pulp. Well, you know what? We're not going to throw that away. We're actually going to spread that on a dehydrator tray. And we're going to make nut flour out of it, almond flour to be specific, and we're going to use that to make some different raw desserts. But if you do not have time to spread it out on a dehydrator tray and let it dehydrate while you're at work, don't worry about it. Just put this in the fridge, or you can even empty the contents of this bag right into a glass container and cover it up and put it in the refrigerator. And what I usually do is I'll dehydrate 2-3 batches at a time, just so make sure I'm as energy efficient with my dehydrator as I possibly can be. So once you have all the fluid out of there, that's it. You have the pulp ready to go and become nut flour if you have the time and inclination to do so. I'm going to clean up a little bit here. Now, when it comes to storing the almond milk, like any milk product, it will soak up flavors from your refrigerator. So you don't want to just go ahead and put it in here in an open container like this. I like to use these Frigidaire containers. This is just the brand that works best for me. Out of all the brands that I've found that are glass and come with a lid, this one stays on really well. It kind of fits on here, and then it has a little twisty function that makes it suction on there. I don't know, some magic way. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to the container, and that's how we'll store this, and it'll just be ready to go. You can see this is creamy and delicious. Now, I tend to like my milk a little less creamy. I've never been one to drink whole milks or creams or anything like that. So if you wanted this to be more creamy, you increase the ratio of nuts and lower the amount of water. And you can get this as thick as you want. It's the fats in the nuts that are turning this into the delicious cream. So if you want a higher, richer, fattier sort of milk, then you're going to need to add more nuts. Now, if you want, you could, the Frigidaire container comes in a bigger size. That's a 1 liter, and it comes in a 2 liter. But to be honest, to save time, I usually fill the 1 liter, and I usually have just about the right amount left over to pour in here. Now this is my the container for, what's this little thing called? A magic bullet? And it's just a little personal blender. It's great for making little smoothies in the morning. We have one. It makes it really easy if you're doing 2 drinks at once. If you make the maca faca and you also have a green smoothie going on, it makes it really, really easy. So I make the batch of milk. I add the maca ingredients. I put this on here and I'm ready to go. And then once those macas are in the coffee cups and ready to go, I even top it with the last little bit of the almond milk foam so it has a nice latte look and it's nice and warm and gets us off to a really good start.